Hello, Boys and Girls Club members. This is Mr. Derek here, and I'm going to give you another art project for today. And today we're going to make a boat out of things you can find around your house. So the concept is very simple. All you will need is a couple of paper towel rolls, 2 bags, Walmart bags, any kind of plastic bag will be fine, some form of liquid glue, and 2 paper plates. So, I'll just go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing you do is you take your paper towel roll and your plastic bag, and you point the bottom part of the plastic bag upward to where the handles of the bag are on the end. You take that bag and put it down the paper towel thing. And you just keep filtering it through until you can grab it on the other side and pull it all the way through, like so. Now, the reason you want to do this is because you're going to want to tie one of these ends, but you can't do it and still get it through this because there'll be too much air in the bag to pull it through. So I know some of you might be wondering why you would put a bag inside of one of these. Well, the reason for it is that because when this thing hits the water, this is paper, it's cardboard, it's going to soak it up. It's going to soak it all up. So what you're trying to do is put a little bit of something in there that's water resistant. Now, of course, it's not going to keep the water from overtaking it, but it'll allow some air to stay inside of this without adding too much weight. You're going to want to do this with both of them, though. So when you do this, make sure to make a double knot with this, because the first knot, it'll get loose as you use it. So if some of you don't know how to do it, I'll show you right now. You take it, your 2 bunny ears here, make an X, right? And the one that's behind, not the one that's in front here, but the one that's behind, go forward, over, under, and through to where it does this. If you can't see, I'll show you right here. And then pull it the slack out. And you're going to want to do that again, so I'm going to show you again. Here, make an X. The one in the back goes over, and through the hole. And then you grab it from the other end of the hole and pull all the slack out, right? And you put it back down in. Now, it'll come out the other side. That's perfectly fine. You just stuff it in to where it's in both sides. It does not come out. The reason for that is because you're going to take this plate right here, and I'll move my camera down so you can see. You're going to take it, and you're going to place it on the plate like so. And you're going to take a pen and draw a circle on the plate around where this is. Now this is really important because what you're going to be doing for this is that you're going to be using that spot which you cut, or I'm sorry, that you drew on here, to cut the hole out. Some of you may be wondering, well, why are we doing that? Why are we cutting a hole out? Well, it's because you're going to take this piece that you drew here and you're going to place it to cover this hole. So I'm going to, for the sake of time, I'm going to use a razor knife. You can use scissors, you can use anything that you want to use, anything you got is perfectly fine. But for the sake of today and our time together, I'm going to use a razor knife. Now, any kind of razor knife I would use for this is typically be useful, but I have in mind a particular one. So I'm going to put it together here real quick. like so. There we go. I'll hold this down on top of here and use that traceable spot to cut around. See, where I've already got the circle drew, I'm going to take my razor knife and I'm just going to follow it around. Now, you may wonder, well, why are you using that to cover the hole if the bag's going to keep some of the water out? Well, it's because if you can keep more water out, that's better. It'll prolong the life of your boat. And the longer you can prolong the life of your boat, the more fun you're going to get to have with it. So, what you're going to want to do, once you get the hole cut out, which is very easy to do once you get the whole concept done, you're going to want to take it, if you're using hot glue, and prepare the hot glue by plugging it up right about now. Because while you're cutting this whole piece here, while you're cutting it, that hot glue is going to be getting ready for you to use it. Now, say you cut this out with a razor knife and it's not necessarily perfect, it's perfectly fine. The reason that you want to use the liquid glue is because it's going to act as a seal around this. But if you're worried about cutting the right size hole, place the piece that you've already cut down on top of the plate again and use the pen once more to mark a circle around it. That'll keep you from having to do any extra work for measurement. Okay. You'll just go ahead and cut it once more. Now, say you mess up on the cut, that's perfectly fine, because, like I said, the liquid hot glue will act as a sealant around it as well. Right? So, what you'll do then, after you've placed it out, just pull it out once more. Now see, you're going to want 4 for these though, so you're going to keep cutting them. And just continue to do so. Now, what I like to do when I can't get it exactly perfect or I'm worried about hurting the table underneath me, I'll go ahead and take something like a scrap piece and I'll place it underneath it. This one's from our last video. I'll place it underneath it so I can cut the circle more efficiently without having to worry about my table. Now, what this is particularly fun for after you get it done is that you can use this plate also for anything you want scrap-wise later as well. Not only that, the spare piece that which you just used to measure out is also the final piece that you'll need to cut. Alright? Now, after you're done with this, of course, you can measure it again, you can cut more pieces, you can add other pieces to it, but the reason that we're only cutting these 4 and we're only using 2 of the original pieces is because the more pieces that you cut, the more weight you're going to add onto your boat. And the more weight you add onto your boat, the harder it is going to be for it to float. So you'll go ahead and do what you got to do to keep it as light as possible. There we go. Push this final piece out here. Now, say you have trouble with it, don't worry. It may take a few tries, just like me right now. I'm having a little trouble with it, to get it to come out exactly the way you want it. If it does, that's perfectly okay. It's no big deal. So, I've got all 4 of my pieces cut. Right here. So, by the time you get that done, your hot glue gun should be ready. What you're going to do is you're going to take and set that over the top. Right? Set that over the top. Now, I'm going to focus this back up so you can see exactly what I'm about to do. I will then take my hot glue gun. Now, if you've got a piece in there that's already in there, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Just use your thumb, push on it, and hold this over top the end here. You're just going to want to put a dot on it at first so you can hold it in place. There we go. Dot there. And I'd say blow on it a little bit because this glue is not only very hot, it can be very quickly cooled if blown on. Okay. Now see, it's already starting to hold. So by that point, if it's already starting to hold, you can follow it around and fill in the gaps there along the sides. Now, if for any reason it's not sealed up around the top, again, just put some of that hot glue on the top. You can fill in the hole a little bit with some of this hot glue because, as I said before, it acts as a sealant. Okay. Now, every now and then it might try to come up on you. Just push down on the top, blow on it, and keep going. There we go. Alright, there's this. Now, while that cools, because not all of it will be cool and not all of it will be perfect our first go around, we're going to leave it sitting over here for a moment while we get the other one. You're going to want to alternate between these, because the more that you alternate between them, the easier it will be for you to get it done. So again, I'll just go ahead and put a dot here, right there. I'll spread it around a little bit just so it cools a little faster, you know. Okay. Right? And it makes it a little easier if you go ahead and take it and blow on it a couple times real quick, just so you can make sure that it is nice and in place. And then you're going to go again, go around, fill in the gaps with the hot glue. Now if it gets a little too heavy on one side, that's fine. Or if it's a little too long on one side, that's fine too. Like I said, this hot glue will take care of most of the problems. But if you do have a form of liquid glue, you can take another piece of paper and just use the glue to connect it and put it over top. Right. There we go. Now, if you've got to stick any under it, that's perfectly fine too. Just put it under it real quick and then push down on the top. Now, so there's that. Now, by this time, the other one should be almost completely dry, or at least dry enough to use. See? Already sealed. Now, if we were to take this and place it over the top here and do the exact same thing, we'll have the exact same outcome. Now, if they're a little small, don't worry about it. Just put a little dab on the side there. And then a little dab on the side over here. Even it out. So, it may get a little difficult at first to get it all situated, but that's okay. So just go all the way around it once more. And seal it up. So, there we go. And there's that. There's this side. Now, same thing as last time. This other side's probably done by now. Cool to touch. Place it over the top. Now, this one particularly is a little small. So, if that's true, we can take this piece here and just cut a little side piece. Okay, like so. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to place it over the edge here, and we're going to glue this tip piece on to where it can cover this side and hold this side together. Right. Do the same thing over here. Just a small little dab. Hold it in place. Alright. Then we're going to take the piece we just cut, and we're going to take it and set it over the top of that there. This should make it a little easier to seal it up around the edges. And we'll just dab a little bit of glue on there to get it to stay in place. There we go. And over there. And a little bit here. Give it a little blow. Now, a little bit of extra hot glue is not going to hurt it. It might weigh it down a little bit more. That's just something you need to be aware of. So the more you use, the harder it'll be to keep it together. There we go. There we go. All sealed up. Now, it may take a minute for it to set. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to blow on it every single time that you use it. Just make sure that you've got all the gaps filled in, and then leave it setting for about a minute. Alright. From that point, you've got a little bit of wiggle room you can have with this. So, that other side's probably still a little hot. Yeah. So, we're going to take this, and we're going to take the piece of the plate that we didn't cut, and we're going to use it as a base. So, there we go. Alright. Now, the reason you do this right now is because when you finally set this thing together, one, it'll help it keep a little elevation, and two, gives you something that looks a little bit more like a boat is supposed to. So, take your hot glue gun once more. And you don't need much, just a couple of dabs. Make sure it's evenly spaced out. So, make sure everything measures up. Put a dab here. Dab here. Here. And here. Just 4 little dots. Doesn't matter exactly where. Just enough to where the weight can sit on top. Top. And have time to cool. You can do the same thing for this one. Now you can also seal these pieces up, but you don't have to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to just dab right there, dab over here, and go ahead and set it right on top. Alright, okay. So, after you let all this cool, it may take a little while, it may take a few minutes, which is fine if it needs to. You can decorate it any way that you want. You can decorate this piece with paint, you can decorate it with markers, you can decorate it with anything you'd like. But remember that the more weight you add to it, the harder it will be for it to float. And you can place little figures on it. You can place things on it to give to animals, such as food for the ducks, or anything that you wish. So that, boys and girls, is how you make a little boat with things around your house. Alright, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I hope that you all tune in next time for another art project with Mr. Derek. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.